welcome to your Monday morning espresso shot. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I look forward to connecting with you from the heart to the mind and also on the topic we're going to talk about today. So let us begin, as we always do, by placing our awareness in the area of the heart. This is where we will always start every Monday by placing our awareness in the area of the heart. We begin to take slow, deep breaths. We can visualize or experience these flowing in and out of our hearts. We are going to be breathing through our mouth or through our nose or both. But imagine these coming into your heart, because that will basically help balance your autonomic nervous system when you do that. So take the slow, deep, gentle breaths, experiencing them flowing in and out of your heart, breathing a little slower, a little gentler than you normally would. Now see if you can slow down your breathing even more. We should be at least able to count 5 seconds or count to a five count when we're breathing in and five count to a breathing out. See if you can really slow it down. This is the time for you. This is the me time before you kickstart your week. Slow it down. Deepen your breath. You may have some thoughts coming into your head. Just become an observer of those thoughts and gently bring your awareness back into the heart if that happens. We only have a few minutes to do this today, so let us do it right. Just focus your awareness in the area of the heart, just for this time. Slow, deep, gentle breaths, experiencing them flowing in and out of your heart. Thank you so much for joining me today. That was the 5 minutes. We will do 5 more minutes of a more elevated version of that. But for now, let's talk about things that make me go, hmm. And this topic certainly made me go, hmm. And it is this whole notion of suffering and enlightenment. There's a corpus of literature and philosophies out there that talk about suffering is the way to enlightenment. And I always had had a problem with that because I know that, like, for me a truism is that this is a benevolent universe, and if you believe in God, in the form, in any form, it could be the matrix, the universe, whatever, however you classify God as, I always feel that beyond the veil there is unconditional love. In a world of unconditional love, would that design force us into suffering just to become more closer? If you're a parent to a child, would a parent want a child to suffer just to get love from a parent? And to me, this was a paradox that I couldn't understand until very recently. Until very recently, you see, you have to have kids in order for you to completely understand and embody this concept, and knowing that it is a benevolent design of the universe, that what we perceive as suffering is really a gift. And I wanted to unpack that with you in the very few minutes that we have here. One of the things that I realized, that I have two daughters, and when they are making choices, from my life experience, I know where they're heading down. I know all the probabilities that if they make that choice, it's going to be not a good choice. And sometimes it costs them a lot of money to make that choice. And so when you provide that guidance to them, and they don't listen, and they go down that path, and then lo and behold, they come across a situation where they begin to suffer because of the choice they made. Well, that particular suffering allows them to learn and grow from that. And so that choice will never be repeated ever again. If I were to be more controlling to my daughter and forced her, if you can do that, forced her to avoid that choice, that pattern, that curiosity will always be with her. So as a parent, I want the decisions my child makes to have a little bit of suffering so that she can avoid a bigger suffering. Now let's go back to how that relates to this whole concept of suffering and enlightenment. To me, one of the things that when I work with people, they say to me, I'm going to quit my job because person A is making my life miserable. My boss hates me, so I'm going to just quit the job. And my advice to them always is that when you quit the job, what you take with you will stay with you. That means this vessel in your body. And if there's an underlying pattern of things that are happening to you, whether it's with this boss, with your spouse, with your child, and there's a repeating pattern, and you're saying, I want to shift that pattern, the only way that a parent can help a child shift that pattern is to allow their child to fall and skin their knees so that they don't have to hurt themselves worse in the future. And the universe provides us opportunities. So what we understand as being suffering is actually the universe saying, hey, you may want to hit this small brick wall so that you can avoid a cliff later on. And to me, on the path of elevation and enlightenment and mastery, we slog through university or classes, through tests and exams, through failures. All of those things we deem as suffering. Who hasn't gone to a university course or a high school course and gone through the exam and felt suffering? But the end result is enlightenment, more higher elevation, more graduation. And that's really how the universe works. So I wanted to share that perspective with you. Comments would be welcome. I have about a minute to go through the nose-heart connection, the Qigong minute. This helps with high blood pressure, recovering from a heart attack, cleans excessive iron from walls of veins and arteries. And it's a very simple process. You take your hands, and I'm going to um, do this. I'm going to full screen. Take your hands and rub your hands together like this so that it's warmed. Then what you do is you take your left palm and you put it in the middle of your nose like this, and you circulate that so that it's comfortable but not too light. And you do this for 36 circles like that. And then once you've done that, warm your hands up again and do the same thing with the right hand like that. Now you may see me, this may look like a left hand to you, but it's a mirror effect on Zoom. So that's exactly how you do. But don't be too hard, but don't be too soft like that. 36 times, as often as you can, will help with all those ailments that we shared with you, excess cleaning, excessive irons, and all of those things. Okay, so practice that, and let me know how that works. All right, let us now go to the next level of our program, and this is where we add in a bit of emotion, which which is really the power that allows us to generate chemicals in our body that allows us to feel a lot better, healthier, and actually chemically balances our systems out. So let us begin by starting to place our awareness in the area of our heart, taking slow, deep breaths, and just experience these flowing in and out of our hearts, breathing a little slower, a little gentler than we normally would. And today, I invite you to focus on a particular area of gratitude. Gratitude is a high vibrational emotion, and this frequency is imbued on the magnetic field that's generated by the heart, and it becomes very ordered in terms of how it presents itself in the frequency spectrum. So the more elevated you feel, the more intensely you feel gratitude, the more amplification that energy has on your magnetic field. It is actually energy. And let us now find gratitude for all of our life's lessons, things that we thought that came to us as suffering are really more of life university, guided by the benevolent creation of the universe. It's designed that way. It's designed to hold you, allow you to learn, and the choices you make, you're allowed to make those choices. So let us give gratitude for the patience of the universe's design, that when we miss a particular opportunity, that the next one is just around the corner and will come to us as lovingly as the other one has. And our hands will never be let go. Spirit will always hold our hands. So every opportunity that comes that appears as suffering, set the intention for the body to remind you there is something in here that allows you to master something very important, that you can overcome obstacles with ease and with grace. Let us find gratitude in that as we take these slow, deep, gentle breaths, experiencing these breaths flowing in and out of our hearts, breathing a little slower, a little gentler than you normally would. Ask your body to allow you to experience a more intense version of this gratitude. Just give it intent and say, I'm ready to explore. I'm ready to increase my capacity of holding a more higher frequency of gratitude. There is no end limit to how high, how amplified frequency that can be. It is a cleansing process. So give intent to your body to be able to connect to a deeper, more richer experience and emotion of gratitude. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. You can stay in your heart still, keep breathing in that way. You're going to have to breathe anyways, and you feel emotions anyways. So why not just choose the way you breathe and choose the way you feel emotions? And that is the path to enlightenment. So that is the path to overcoming suffering and not perceiving things as suffering, is to become curious and say, all right, this is happening. I don't want this to happen. I don't like the feeling of this to happen. All right. What if this was a benevolent design of the universe to help me overcome a particular obstacle? What would that look like? And that's the journey. That is essentially the journey. All right. So questions, please type those in. In the meantime, those who are Ignite members, I've released the October one. That's for lessons in overcoming fear and following your heart's purpose. It was an interview that Kirsty Jane, my friend here, uh, did with me, and it's for Ignite members. You have access to that. Okay. And if you need help uh, turning suffering into enlightenment, or helping you see your blind spots, I'm happy to be there for you to support you through that. All right. So let's see what's coming through for us on chat. Hello, Dylan Sudanta, UK. I hope things are going well in the United Kingdom. I know it's pretty scary out there right now. So I do want to share with you that my heart and we all pray for speedy resolution to this whole pandemic thing. And I hope you guys are out in the streets playing and having fun and enjoy. So thank you so much for Dylan Sudanta. Uh, Gift of older age is wisdom. And you're asking a question. The gift of older age is wisdom. I've known children grown who who come into this world with a lot of wisdom. I don't know if the age has a connection directly to wisdom. I think experience, perhaps. But children, there are some that are grown that have their wisdom far beyond their ages. Um, Dr. Wolf, why not feel good? I agree. Why not feel good? So, I mean, one of the things is that you have to take this body with you, and any kind of patterns that are in this here, emotional patterns in this body, you can move to a different location. You take the pattern with you. So you want to feel good, but you need to go through that process, just like you would have to write an exam to get to the next level. The exam is, we can call it suffering, because I have to study for this. I have two kids who study, and they have finals and midterms, and yeah, it's suffering, but when they're done, it's exciting. So I think you get to feel good, but you have to go through that process. I don't know of a way out of that. If there's somebody who knows a way out of that, I'll hire you as my coach. Dawn, hello from the north here. Morning all. Shamir, what are your thoughts when something bad happens, not necessarily from one's choices, to people as it will? What enlightenment might they find from that experience? Well, not all bad things that happen to you are benevolent creations of the universe. I can't imagine that would be. Excuse me. So I don't know. I think the only thing we can do, and it doesn't matter what's happening around you, what you can control is how you respond to a situation. So if something looks like, okay, this looks like suffering, and it's an enduring, like if I were to say it's chronic suffering, I'm always meeting the wrong person. I'm always trying to run this, do my work, but I always kind of fall short of my own expectations or somebody else's expectations. Those are the chronic kind of things that I'm talking about in terms of suffering and enlightenment. Other things are just random occurrences that happen that are not your choice, because other people have free will as well. So I think in those instances, Don, the only thing we can do is be responsible for how we respond to that situation. And the place to start is what we practice here every week. Get into your heart, connect, experience gratitude from an event that you feel gratitude from, bring it forward into your heart and just stay there. And things will become a lot better. It may not resolve completely, but it'll sure take the edge off. And that's happened to me. And your body will automatically move in that particular state once you're practicing this at least 5 to 15 minutes a day. So I hope that answers your question, or at least partially answers your question. Dil, synchronicity, I was sharing this principle with Sudanta only this afternoon before we went to the woods for a walk and just returned. Thank you, Shamir, for your blessings. You're always in our heart. Oh, so sweet. Thank you, Dil and Sudanta. Love to both of you. Thank you so much. Don, true that, Doc. Thank you, Don. Appreciate that street acknowledgement. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Don't see anything else coming through. So I want to say thank you to all of you for joining me today. Appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same place. Take care.